Get ready for Douglar Radio on U97.5. Today in for Arnold Roberts is Victor Roberts.
Blessing. Good afternoon. Welcome to U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Douglar Radio. Of course, I'm yours truly, Victor Roberts, sitting in for the original Senator Arnold Roberts, who has some urgent business to attend to. Yes. Yeah, don't ask me what is the business. That is not all your business. Drink some water. And mind your business. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. And Foster Cummins, tune in. Foster Cummins, tune in. I'll tag him, message him, WhatsApp him. What else he could do? Twitter him. Yeah. Whatever you could do to him, just do to him. Foster, if you're drinking coffee, put it down. If you're eating some food, put it away. And tune into this live. This live is important. Trinidad and Tobago, tune in. This is important. You know, as promised, I said to you on Wednesday, before Douglar Politics, I tell you that I will do some research and I will get back to you with this whole issue of Foster Cummins. Of course, Foster said, those transactions was before he was in government. All right. If that be the case, Foster, then go free, get out of jail card free. You know, when you're playing Monopoly. Right, you get a card, and then you just also get a card that say go straight to jail, do not pass go, do not collect 200, go straight to jail. You know that card that's be forthcoming. But I am saying today that a lot of people would be receiving those cards as time goes on, because you know, I know, all of us know that time is longer than any rope. You know that say time is longer than twine. But this in Trinidad, this time is longer than rope, because you see what these government officials, what they are doing is a rope that they tie each other. Yes. And nobody can pull harder than nobody, because the sad thing is the rope around the neck.
My gosh.
It's around the neck, so nobody can pull harder than nobody. Nobody can get more than anybody, because as a man think they hold the rope and you pull it, so you realize that your throat squeeze in. So once your throat squeeze in, you know what you just do? You just get up in the morning and say you resign, because you're missing your family and you're going to meet your family and you will be leaving soon. And to date, you ain't going nowhere. You get a different position. Well, it had to be Clarence. Who else it could be? It can't be nobody else. It had to be Clarence. It can't be nobody else. It's Clarence. So the bottom line to it is that is how the game playing. The game playing in a certain way. And once the game playing in a certain way, ladies and gentlemen, then we had to play the game. You know, later on tonight, I will come back and deal with this nice match in Port of Spain, Jeffrey. I know you was there firsthand. I know you did some coverage. And, you know, later I will want to ask you a few questions on that, Jeffrey. You know, let me light out the bag. I will leave that for later on. But if all you want, James Lambert and Michael and his set and Roger and all them pack of jokers to make all the idiots in this country, go right ahead. Go right ahead and walk all the belly string out. And let me let it out. You'll deal with that later. So, I think by now they're supposed to tag Foster. He's supposed to tune in. He's supposed to call Keith Scotland already and tell him, boy, you know, have a letter prepared. It's only for me to sign it. You understand? Because you know they love pre-action protocol letter. They love to give out those letters corky D. No, I don't know. I don't know if they believe that those letters will frighten somebody. But I know it doesn't frighten me. I'm sure about that. It does not frighten Victor Roberts. And you don't have to frighten with all our games they will play, because facts is facts. And nobody, Corky, could sue you for speaking the truth. You could speak it raw, you could speak it naked, you could speak it with clothes on, you could speak it on the roof below the house in the hammock. Once is the truth. You have nothing to fear. But I is a kind of fella, you know, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And no man. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into today's proceedings, I want to come back where I left.
Where you left off?
Right where I left off.
Can I play something first before you
Play it.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are not those of U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
Right. So be that as it may, and we get that out of the way. Well, the views that I am going to express is not even mine. It's not even mine. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 12th of January 2021, if you have a pen, you have some paper, you could take some notes, you could tape it, and you could send it. We had to send it for after, but let's go. On the 12th of January 2021, the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau received a report from the Financial Investigation Branch of the TTPS. I'm going to go back again. On the 12th, ladies and gentlemen, of January 2021, I am saying to you that the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau received a report from the Financial Investigation Branch of the TTPS. Right, picking cotton here now. Let me just get some volume off at this thing here, Corky, so we won't have no interruption. Right, so you're picking some cotton here now. Right, so they receive a report from the Financial Investigation Branch of the TTPS. This was, ladies and gentlemen, in relation to a suspicious financial activity. This was in relation to a suspicious financial activity. But what was this suspicious financial activity? This suspicious financial activity, ladies and gentlemen, it was in relation to a 4.4 million $11,464.76. But is everything had to come out? This suspicious financial activity was in relation to 4.4 million $11,464.76. This, ladies and gentlemen, was money allegedly deposited into a venture credit union account belonging to one Foster Cummins. Yeah, soak that in. Soak that in. This report, ladies and gentlemen, state that this money represents payment to Pical Service Limited, Cummins and Associate Limited, and Revelet Investment Group Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, as we warm this thing up, there was a police, ladies and gentlemen, a woman police officer coming out of this financial suspicious activity. This WP Haywood was appointed to conduct investigations into that matter. On Wednesday, the 7th of July, 2021, WPC Haywood made request by swearing to certain information, and as a result, ladies and gentlemen, 11 orders was subsequently granted. 11 orders. On the 9th of July 2021, these PCOS was served on one Pical Service Limited. 2, the thing getting more interesting. 2, HDC, which is Housing Development Corporation. 3, NMTSCL, which acronyms represent National Maintenance, Training and Security Company Limited. Jeffrey, you know who is that? We just call them MTS in short. 4, First Citizen Bank Limited. 5, RBC, which is Republic Bank. 6, Venture Credit Union. 7, JMMB Bank. They're pretty thing nice. On the 13th of July, same year, further PCOs was served on 1, the Board of Inland Revenue. 2, Republic Bank Limited. 3, Revelet Investment Groups Limited. And I want you to know that these orders on the 13th, they were served at the office of a particular attorney at law, none other than Keith Scotland.
What? Wait now. So that is how easy that was. So Scotland knew he was coming into power then.
Brother, let me tell you the thing. Let me tell you the thing.
Tell me.
I'm holding up there because there is plenty information here to open up. Plenty information.
Okay, brother.
So Keith Scotland beforehand he didn't know they would have gained something.
Probably.
The probability exists.
Probability exists.
Alright, fair enough.
Let me take this call here. Let me see if that Keith Scotland call a minute. Let me just take this one.
Put on the headphones, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Welcome, caller.
Good evening, sir. Just a little correction there. Here it says RBC. And RBC means Royal Bank of the Caribbean, not Republic Bank. They mentioned Republic Bank after.
Okay.
So I don't know if I stand corrected, but I just trying to correct it before anybody turn it up here.
Right. I appreciate.
Thank you.
I appreciate, my brother. So just of correction there on that matter. Okay,
Yeah.
so I withdraw. Thank you, caller. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are speaking. Let me just go back for 1 second here and just look at a document. But by the time I'm going back, we go talk.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing that the financial units within the TTPS, which look after money laundering, corruption,
Yes.
embezzlement,
Yes.
and any other form of suspicious activity. But here we are today, ladies and gentlemen, where we are looking at an individual who said that all these money transactions took place before he was in government.
Yes.
Before he was in government. So, caller, you are quite right. You are quite right with your correction. But nevertheless, we are saying today that Foster Cummins, first of all we heard about 2 or 3 different stories in relation to this account. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I look at a newspaper sometime last week, Corky. I think on Wednesday we shared the date. Was it Sunday newspaper, a front page article?
Yeah, thereabout, yes.
Somewhere there about, a front page article.
Yeah.
Where the Express, as I put it, was the defense attorney, I think the better than Keith Scotland.
Yeah.
I think that the Express better than Keith Scotland, because the story was geared in such a way as to, in my view, protect the said individual. So they make it plain that, look, all this was done before he entered government. But these transactions, from what I saw,
Yeah.
started within 2017.
Right.
But Foster is telling us that this is before he was in government, according to that article. But when I look back at the history, I saw where Foster Cummins was appointed a government senator in 2015. So if you are appointed a government senator in 2015, and you have all these contracts going on with the same government that you are employed with, millions of taxpayers' money flowing with all these different companies that exist, and good, I am glad to see that there is an African man who doing such wonderful business. But while you are doing such wonderful business, Foster Cummins, why would this intelligence financial institution flag you? Flag that transaction? Why is there an investigation going on into these transactions? Would the TTPS investigate something that is above board? I am asking. Keith Scotland, you could probably help us out there. Would the TTPS investigate a matter appointing an officer who went to the court and get the necessary orders to get information in relation to this financial transaction? Would the TTPS investigate a transaction that is above board? That is my question to Keith Scotland, who is also representing his MP partner, his MP colleague, Foster Cummins. You see, that type of protection, it is a protection. They call it the brotherhood. No, I didn't say wrongdoers, Jeffrey.
No, I wasn't going to say wrong.
I just say the brotherhood. You look out for me, I look out for you. You represent me, I pay you. Or could very well be a brotherhood, a friendship kind of representation that is taking place. But all that doesn't matter. My question today is, would the TTPS launch this type of investigation after the Financial Bureau receive a report? You tell me. That is what I want to know. So while we are hearing of a special branch report, Now I want you, Trinidad and Tobago, to understand that the special branch report have nothing to do with this financial suspicious transaction, you know. Don't get twisted, don't mix it up.
Yeah.
Don't mix it up at all.
All right.
We have a special branch report that is in the public domain that is suggesting activities with drug lords, suggesting activities with land grabbing, suggesting activities with corruption. And now we have a second. Some people call it incident. Some people say it's just an incident, a co-incident. But we have a second activity under the same umbrella as the first, because in my book, all of them is suspicious. Everyone. Because why would the special branch put together a report on you? Why would the special branch put together a report of that nature? And today, we are now seeing WPC Harewood is charged with the responsibility to look into this suspicious financial transaction. What is going on here, Trinidad and Tobago? Somebody need to help me understand what is going on here. On Wednesday the 14th, July 2021, WPC here would receive a letter dated the 13th of July from attorney at law Mr. Keith Scotland, which requested pre-trial disclosure. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder if y'all are seeing into this thing. I wonder if y'all are seeing into this thing. They requested whatever affidavits, application for all the different PCOs within 24 hours. On the 14th of July 2021 at approximately 9:26 p.m., WPC here would receive a telephone call from some Mr. Dion Phillip, Deputy Register and Deputy Marshal, advising her that an interpart of the matter, an interpart hearing had been scheduled for the 15th of July 2021 at 10:45 a.m. in relation to the PCO's number, the matter of the ex open up a little bigger. Right. In relation, ladies and gentlemen, to the expert application in the matter between Cummins and Associate versus WPC Harewood, Pical Service Limited versus WPC Harewood, Revelet Investment Group versus PC Harewood. This matter would be heard before the Honorable Madam Justice Waterman, and it further states at a date and time mentioned. Well, I don't have the date and time. But off the bat, Keith Scotland get into first gear. He requested everything. You want to know all the documents in relation to these orders to get information on all the the forementioned names of companies in relation to Foster Cummins. A matter of fact, you will see in another document where Madam WPC Harewood requested a state attorney for representation, and my question today, was that state attorney provided? Because you see, this government have a plan, and what this government does is that every sensitive matter that involves their own, they allow those matters to collapse in the court. Because when they ought to provide state attorneys to represent the state in these matters, they fail to provide state attorneys and allow the matter to collapse, where their friends and financiers will turn around and sue the same state that refused to provide an attorney and get millions of your taxpayers' dollars. That is how the mafia work. That is how it works. We have gotten instruction from Deborah Peake, senior counsel, to appeal the A&V matter, because Deborah Peake, as a senior counsel who was hired by Petrotrin with the agreement of the line minister and the cabinet, to the end of the day, when Deborah Peake said that the arbiters err in relation to the course that set out to govern the arbitration, and that they should appeal quickly. You remember when Saddam Hussein asked in the parliament with the question and answer segment, when he asked Keith Rowley, what is the position? Would the state appeal the matter? Rowley said that was a matter for Petrotrin board. A board where he appointed the chairman, his friend, his lawyer, Kwamena to the head. He said it was a matter for the board. But when Malcolm Jones were before the court, where he had to pay back millions of dollars to this country, Rowley did not said that it was a matter for the board. Rowley and Faris Alwari went to the Privy Council and they withdrew the matter. It wasn't a matter for Petrotrin at that time. But when it's their friend and their financiers, then it's a matter for Petrotrin. So it's one shoes for you and another golden shoes for them. Because Rowley and Faris, a matter of fact, the law lords in England, they were astonished at the withdrawal of that matter. A matter of fact, the law lords said it's an indictment on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That was the act of Faris and Rowley. But in the Avery drilling matter, it wasn't a matter for the board of Petrotrin. Sorry, it wasn't a matter for the state, for Rowley and Faris. But in that case, Rowley washed his hand like Pilate. He said that is a matter for the board of Petrotrin. But you see, while it is a matter for the board of Petrotrin, my question to Rowley and Faris today is, who appointed the board?
All right.
Who appointed the board? Who appointed the chairman? It was you, Keith Rowley. And where it was a matter for you, Keith Rowley, to instruct the board, just as you and Faris instructed to withdraw that matter with Malcolm Jones. You fail to defend the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You fail to defend the people of this country. But to the end of the day, I would not put it past you guys, because it was you, Keith Rowley, who called Bash and called Dilki Singh while an investigation was going on into the fake oil matter. It was you who called these individuals who were subjects in that matter, those who were under investigation, and you tell the press in this country that it's your friend. And what kind of man will hear that his friend in this scenario and would not call to find out what is this you're hearing? That is your words, Rowley. That is your words. Keith Rowley, we had 4 divers who died in a pipe in Petrotrin, working for the state. Not one day, Keith Rowley, not one day you visit the families. Have you ever made a call to the families, Keith Rowley? Not one day. But you could call Bash and Dilki Singh to find out about the fake oil scandal. You could do that. But not one day 4 men die representing the state in your state-owned company, because that's the company that all you establish. Not one day you visit the family. Have you ever called those widows, those mothers, those brothers, sisters? Have you ever called? Not one day. But you could call Bash and you could call Dilki Singh in a fake oil matter, and as you say, those are your friends. Boy, Keith Rowley, I can't describe you on this radio, boy. I can't describe you on this radio station. I can't describe you. And this is what we condone. You have a minister of government. I think I understand why the youths behaving how they behaving. Because if that minister is a minister with any youth affairs, and his companies, and he is the subject of these investigations, and these investigations is not investigations of a joking matter. These are criminal investigations. And if you could have a minister sitting as a senior cabinet minister in this country while these investigations presently going on, I don't know, Keith Rowley, how to describe you. I think that there is no description that I could give here this evening on this radio station that will do justice to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You can't tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, this is not no private investigations, you know. This is investigation by the TTPS. These are investigations that carries prison sentence. And why it is today that Keith Rowley will have Foster Cummins sitting in the cabinet while these various serious investigations are taking place. Somebody tell me, this is where we reach. This is where we reach. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that I understand it. I understand it. Because when a prime minister could conspire with a president and breach the Constitution, the highest form of law in any land, when a prime minister could conspire and breach several clauses within our Constitution, then I am saying that that prime minister have no problem breaching any law to protect the Cosa Nostra. The prime minister will stop at nothing. When I hear the prime minister stand up and the defense that he tries to articulate to the population, trying to convince you, the people, that all is well, I was glad when I heard him said that he do not lie.
You forget Petra Chill.
I was glad when I hear Rowley say he don't lie, he always speak the truth.
And that is a lie.
That liar, that liar. People of Trinidad and Tobago, people of Trinidad and Tobago, there are too many allegations with evidence of corruption with this PNM government. And how could you sit down, bend down, lie down, and take all that Keith Christopher Rowley and his government is doing to you, the people of this country? We go for the break. We'll be back.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, hey, hey. Our ancestors came from India in 1838. They came to British Guyana as Jahatis or shipmates. They crossed the Calabani on the Hesperus with me. Bahut Aja and the Aji, Bahut Nana and Nani. Yes, I'm a Indo-Caribbean man from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, my culture and education. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, hey, my culture, my education, yes. Came down to this land in Indian indentured servants living a 7 to 9 years back, clutching on to the lotus, crying for Mother India, with tears in the eyes and a prayer in the heart. Salam Bharat Mata, yes, I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, me culture, me education. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, hey, and all them little children, yes. Well, look at Canaan and Ram, were the first immigrants to land. Canning them around, Ram became a Burmesian. They lived in little lodges and worked hard in the background. From nothing they built a nation. I am proud to be an Indian, yes, I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, me culture, me education. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, hey, and the Indo-Caribbean woman, yes. Incorporated the cultures from Africa and India, Hindu, Muslims and Christians, to build a better Guyana. Everyone celebrate Idul Adha, we all fly kites for Easter. Mother water, a beer and powder, everybody playing part one, yes. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, me culture, me education. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from my Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, hey, and all them little children, yes. Well, Sonny Gadraj, my grandfather, he was a true Indian. He taught Bhajans and Hindi classes to all the little children. Sitting down on his pew, he was a bottom house teacher, teaching cultural education from generation to generation. Yes, I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, my culture, my education. I'm a Indo-Caribbean man, from a Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, hey, and the Indo-Caribbean woman. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh,
Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Welcome back. So there's a whole team to to represent the applicant. And I am now learning that senior counsel, Mr. Gilbert Peterson, Keith Scotland, and other attorneys at law, submissions were made on behalf of the applicant. So I want to know, I am asking, Jeffrey, let me ask you a question. Jeffrey,
Trying to get me in
if
trouble.
the TTPS wants to do an investigation on your $5 that you have in the bank, and you know your $5 legit, you have a legitimate $5, you have the necessary accounts for that $5, you have the necessary paperwork for that $5, your taxes will prove everything is above board. Would you make any move to stop the TTPS from looking into your $5?
Nah, I wouldn't make no move to do that.
But why?
Because I know everything straight.
So then if everything's straight with you, are we talking about you, eh?
Yeah, it's me talking about.
If everything straight with you and your money, you have some money by the neighbor, you have some money by Scotia, you have some money by some other institution, by unit trust, wherever you have money, would you make moves to stop an investigation into that money?
Because I know everything straight.
Let me take this call and hear what this caller had to say.
Right, Mr. Victor. Sada Roti, Tomato Chukan Sani. Good evening to you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, good evening.
Good day, good day.
Then I ask about another investigation because I read on the papers that they mash up the integrity in public, like all kind of kucho going on there. So no investigation could take place if the man do the necessary paperwork for the index to declare his assets and thing in the Integrity Commission, because they say they have 4,000 outstanding declaration to certify. So that is one janja day. That is why all of them, if they declare the asset, they could go scot-free. The other thing the police I want them to do too is look at and see if there was any investment in DSS. I ain't hearing that at all. And I ain't know where that investigation going on. What? Them Belgian police get fat and they gone back?
Well, I think that, well, them come fat, you know.
Oh, okay. They're going back fatter.
Yeah, fatter, because they bring them here, they come fat.
Yeah, and I think some geriatric Scotland Yard police come too. But what happened to that? Like the vaccine vagrant stalled the investigation or what? Because it was going somewhere and it put him in jeopardy. No, I hear you're calling, you're asking if he was getting a call from a fella from Port of Spain South.
Yeah.
Well, did he participate in the debate today on a private motion for the security and safety of our children? I'm looking all over YouTube for it, but I ain't seen him at all. I would expect him to contribute to that. Or would he hiding from direct questions?
I wasn't on the Parliament channel today, caller, so
right.
I don't
So
know.
you understand, because that is the time, because you know the vaccine vagrant like to use Parliament for privileges and make all sort of lie. But they could ask him straightforward question and they catch him lying and bust him up.
Well, I think that same man you're talking about, they probably too busy these days trying to get paperwork and trying to stop and trying to get...
I think he's trying to... Somebody mentioned something like ugly. I think he's trying to get a facelift and grow it longer.
But hear this, caller, before you go. Hear this before you go.
Yes, sir.
I saw in the papers recently on Facebook also, this gentleman came out and said that he was abused from a young fella growing up. And he described a thick, short fella, that kind of picky head.
Short, ugly,
yeah,
stocky.
kind of picky head, ras kind of thing there.
In a short dreadlocks. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anytime you have an idea who is that, you could let me know.
Yeah, but I go find out because them fellas like to go and fight election petition for Granger, you know. all of them went down there too, you know. So them tick together, you know. Show me your friends, and I'm gonna tell you who you are. So if they're doing it in Trinidad, most likely they go do it outside too. They all they had to carry the equipment and carry the churn. I go on.
All right, Kola, thank you. So let me open up the phone line a little bit on this segment here. Let me open up 218-7762.
I bounce up on a avid supporter in Port of Spain today. He say he does tune in and listen every evening. He say he meet you on the steps on the Hall of Justice.
Right,
and
I know. Yeah.
I just say let me bring him up tonight.
Yeah.
Partner, you know who he is.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Forgive me.
Yeah. 218-7762. We go open up the lines a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, I am yet to see. I could tell a little something, you know. I could tell a little something here tonight. And I want a little watch and see. I want all you to see that under this government, this Keith Rowley government, I want all you to see that absolutely nothing will come out under this government once they are in office under the leadership of Keith Rowley. I am saying to you tonight that you will see everything go down the drain, including these investigations. Welcome, Gola.
Well, good night, Victor.
Yes,
glad to have you. Good night, Jeffrey.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, Kokiri. And the other listeners. First of all, we are very close. I'd like to extend Indian Rivalry to all those who toil in the sugarcane fields with courage and great solidarity. From the cane fields to the university, to being business people and becoming entrepreneurs. Let us hold on to our pride, but not be proud. For a wrong reason, we are a cosmopolitan country, and now we are heading into a cosmopolitan world. Let it be known around the world that we can boast of unity. We take our pride and respect our dignity. We do this with courage, strength, and strong solidarity. Those who cause this division, we as a nation, we will fight back fairly and fiercely again. However, let's enjoy and celebrate together. We are all part of each other and we will not support division. Have a good night, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kola. Thanks for your contribution. You know, he's always the poet.
Yeah. So I'm saying to you, Trinidad, that you will live to see that absolutely nothing come out of any corrupt activities in this country under this present government. Mark my words tonight. They will come and they will go. And for justice to be served, ladies and gentlemen, there is one mission. And that mission is to remove Keith Christopher Rowley and this corrupt government out of office. That is when justice will be served. That is when accountability would be steadfast. That is when you will have the opportunity to say, when you do the crime, pay the time. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Victor! Good evening, Renaissance. Good evening, Cocky, as the Corey House. Right, so you know tomorrow, Saturday, 28th of May, 3 o'clock p.m. in Paris, France, Champions League final, Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Let me get some predictions now, man. I'm going tomorrow. I'm going 3-1. 2-1 to the Real Madrid. From Real Madrid, 1 from Liverpool. On his score sheet, I'm going Benzema and Modric. On Liverpool side, I'm going Sadio Mane. Let me get some predictions now. Victor, let me hear you.
So the prediction again here is that once Rowley in office, nothing will come out of all the corrupt activities that is taking place in this country. Thank you, El Socorro.
We have our next caller.
Welcome, caller. You missed that one. Caller, try back. We missed you there. This is a serious thing. This is no.
I find Foster Cummins playing games with the people. Yes.
Welcome, caller.
Inside again, Victor Roberts and Jeffries and everybody. After reflecting on why crime is high, I believe I can hypothesize why when the PNM is in government, crime flourishes. Okay, let me tell you, the PNM has one of the strongest networking. You know, when it's election, they just go house, mamu to mamu. So they know everybody visits who voting for them and who are voting for them. They know when they're living, they know when they're moving. So they have it cooked. So why don't they use that intelligence and pass it on to the police so that they to prevent and suppress crime? Because they don't do it. They only use it, that intelligence, to get votes and forget about crime and forget about the country. Think about it. They're far superior than the UNC in managing the votes. They know everybody business. Left, right, and center. They just come along by you and tell you, you're ready. We figure you're yellow. We're going green. I go on. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller. Here I can understand this country. I cannot understand for God's sake how this country become what it is. How the people in this country become what they are. That's why I'm trying to understand. That's why I really, Jeffrey, it doesn't have a day pass without I studying what wrong with the people in this country, boy. I don't know if it's a spell, if it's just stupidness, if it's just dotishness, but how could you be supporting this? How you could support this? Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Mr.
Yes,
Victor and the co-host.
Yes, good evening.
Amidst all this nonsense going on in this country with respect to the administration of justice, the question, issues relating to the application of the rule of law, separation of powers and all these things, the independence of the judiciary. I am hearing somebody from the Senate talking about abandoning or moving away from the Privy Council to go to the CCJ. And I am saying, if you're saying and you talk about a relic of colonialism, why it is the Prime Minister had to go to England to get police officers to sign agreement with the English government to get police officers to assist us here, we're independent for many years, right? In dealing with in the detection of crime, right? And bringing people before the court. Why? They did it on 2 occasions. They did it with the EMBD. They brought some firm with some lady. I can't remember her name.
She's still
and
here.
Then they brought
Kate is her name.
With respect to the DSS. But you coming to tell me. So after 60, how much years of independence, you don't have a police service that is equipped with the expertise, the experience, and the knowledge, right, to go about investigating crime? And yet you're telling me now that you want to abolish the Privy Council? That is the last bastion of independence, institutional independence in this country here.
Yes, sir.
That is all that we have now to save our democracy. That is the only thing now. Everything has been compromised. What is wrong with these people? I can't understand them. I am saying, as long as you have this government in power, the hands very long, and we know the damage that they have done with those institutions here.
Yes.
The Privy Council must remain. And I don't know whether the Attorney General going or no. You have a judicial system in this country from the appeals come right down to the magistracy. And they are in trouble. Right? You have judgments, you have matters lasting all 15, 20, all kind of years. It's a mess. Since then, before Dana Sitahal died, she spoke about the question of the magistrate court, the magistracy, and the state that it was in. And she spoke about training magistrate in the procedure in terms of sentencing and all these different things, right? Adjournments and all these and that hasn't been done. You see the chaos that, and you come in now to in the Senate to talk about what if a thing is good if it works. The people, the ordinary people in this country, they made no complaint about the Privy Council. They have their own agenda, you know.
Exactly.
The ordinary man is quite satisfied. If he get a judgment from the Privy Council, he happy with that.
Exactly.
But you have those who they're able to bamboozle, who they're able to confuse. Because again, people in Trinidad, I have a lot of people in Trinidad. Not everybody, you know, you have some intelligent people who are conscious of what's going on, and they know, well, listen, given the state of play in this country, you need that Privy Council there.
Yep.
Don't tell me about their hands are long enough to reach that Sergeant Court of Justice. Their hands were able to they were able to reach the Integrity Commission. They were able to reach
You're correct. You're correct.
their hands long.
Yeah.
And where you going with that? Where they go? Not at this time. Not at this time, Papa. No, Papa. No play. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Robert.
Kola. Thank you. And Kola, you're right. The judiciary in a serious mess. Apart from backlog, apart from corruption, they also sexing boys. Little boys too. Little children. Some of them sitting there, they are responsible for the murder of Akil Chambers. They are responsible for the abuse in the children home. Some of them sitting right there. That is how wicked and nasty some of them is. They want to go to CCJ. CCJ, boy, we want fire. Burn earlier. Burn earlier judiciary. A little wicked and evil in this country. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Dr. Security House. Regarding the previous caller, right? He's right. The senator who made a comment was Anthony Vieira. Now, when I listen to that contribution, I say, boy, I can't believe this man is an independent senator. He's not even a PNM senator. The man, and I say this without fair contradiction, the man is a slave owner. The previous caller put it perfectly. Right? The Privy Council is the last barricade for independence and justice, and you want to go by the Caribbean Court of Justice to get things with all this man that's going on. The previous caller put it perfectly. I am convinced that man is a slave owner. And if you look at what's going on today, right? I am convinced this is modern day slavery. I am convinced that Eric Williams wasn't he created the PNM as a BTEC slave ownership of Trinidad. Because when you look at what's going on with the laborers, right? The labor union, all these contractors who doing work and not getting paid. That's something like slavery. And you hold them to ransom as they had to go on when the bank and borrow and bankrupt this and sell them and you have them in arrears and you have them waiting until they write off debt and all kind of madness. If you do work, Victor, and you ain't get paid, and you buy the law, if you them are last to get back your money, and you get in trouble and you end up in jail, that's something like slavery to you. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. This judiciary, well, don't talk about Vera, you know. You see Vera? Boy, Vera, let me tell you something, Mr. Man. Let me take this caller, guys. Not to tell you what I want to tell you tonight. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Roberts and Jeffrey.
Yes, sir, good night.
Okay, you touched earlier on the business. And this is in the public domain. Now, you think that call that Rowley made to A. Vigilant was really about, he wanted to find out what was going on? Right? Then go back to the check that Monilal discovered in Miami when he spoke to Rowley's cousin. That Rowley's name was on that check. So that wasn't to find out about what going on A. Vigilant. I believe that was to find out if the tracks were covered. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. And I am confused in this country, boy. I confused, real confused. I real confused. I so confused and ashamed because I cannot understand where are the mindset of the people in this country. I cannot understand what we were taught, what we were really taught growing up, what is really instilled in us, what we have inside there, what we have. Why can't we stand for what is right? Nobody asking nobody to love nobody. This is not a love affair, you know. Nobody asking nobody to love the UNC. Nobody asking nobody to become a member of the UNC. Well, at least me. But to the end of the day, in this scenario, what we are asking you to do is to stand for what is right. That is what we are asking you to do. Stand up for what is right for once in a life in this country now, boy. Stand up to save the future of this country now, man. Stand up and do something. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night, Comrade Victor.
Yes, sir. Good night. Good night.
Yeah, man. I wasn't going to call, but I just called to share your sentiment. And you hit the nail on the head, but I am just as baffled as you because I consider myself a normal, educated Trinidadian as everybody else. And I am baffled to see what is going on in this country. So much corruption in your face. You know, they thieving in front of your eye and they tell you, no, I ain't thief. And on top of that, they're lying and trying to cover it up and pulling wool over the supporters' eye. You know? And the supporters are them so dumbfounded that they can't see beyond the Balige. You know? And everything, that clouding the vision of everything. This man, listen, man, before the accession of Prime Minister of Rowley, right? It had corruption, but not to this level, man. This is like oh, I don't know how to describe it. Help me with that word, man. Well, this man take it to a totally it beyond expectation what this man level. This man thieving and corruption. Thanks.
Thank you, caller. Thanks for your call, caller. And that's why I say I confuse, because I think that this country has so many educated people. This country has so much religious. I wonder if I should say that, boy. I really wonder if I should say that this country has so much God-fearing people. I think I should say that this country has so much Rowley-fearing people. I think that's what I have to say. Because from every quarter that you would expect the truth to be told, they quiet. I think that the religious leaders in this country all you reach the point of failing this country. Welcome, caller.
Hi, Jacob. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good night,
what I have to tell you, Mr. Tonight, you have been very articulate in what you said tonight. You have been the best since you have been on the program. What is happening, Trinidad? You have to think when you speak to the people who are in those constituencies that vote the pianist. For a very long time, I've been able to ascertain from people speak that what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago is happening basically in two constituencies in the south, or three in the south, and the majority are on the east-west corridor. Those people are constantly, they just go and do things at random. They don't think. The part of the brain to think with is missing. They don't care about the issues and the people they will affect in Trinidad and Tobago to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place.
Wow.
Then the next thing too, we have a constitution in this country, a political system that need to be overhauled. Before they had all these things that they bring from England over here. Africa is still run good, India is still run good, all the countries in the world is still run good. They come and put a democracy system over here. This is not working. We need to look in Trinidad and Tobago, look at a comprehensive review of our laws. There are laws to be amended. There are laws to be enacted. You understand? There are no laws to be repealed. We have two people in Trinidad, Mama Smurf, which is the president, and Papa Smurf, which is the Prime Minister. And these two people are making a mockery of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? We have to get together, not on the radio, but we have to have a think tank to see how we could
bring forward this election, because these fellows want to sit there for 5 years, and by the time they do that, if they get that CCJ in place, they're good to go for another 20 years, you know.
Oi.
Good night to you all and the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, caller, for your call this afternoon also. I am very much lost, ladies and gentlemen, because the religious body, it is the quarter that you believe that the truth will emanate from. It is the quarter that you believe. Well, all right, let me take back that you. I saying I. It is the quarter that I believe that the truth would be spoken out loudly. But I could never believe that a pandemic could get the mind, the brain sick simply because a few dollars from Keith Rowley. You hear what I just telling you? I think God allowed this pandemic for we to see the true colors of all those who like to pretend, because there's plenty pretenders, you know. Trust what I'm telling you. Not only in politics are pretenders, you know, because it has some here too. But in the church, where you guys supposed to be sung to know the truth, loud and clear, without fear and without favor, fearing none other than the Lord. I have lived the scene in this country. It seems as though that the church fear Rowley more than God. That is what I see in this country. Listen to the bell. That bell may be shocking the heart. Shocking the heart. Let me take this one. Welcome, caller.
Yes, there is a returning a call, Mr.
Go ahead, brother. You go ahead.
The thing about it here, everybody know, you know, the church know, the police know, everybody know that Trinidad, even the politicians, they say that, I think one of the leaders said, the leader told them that this is a corrupt place.
Yeah.
They admit that. Everybody know that. And I am saying that in support of the Privy Council, this country is too corrupt. They will corrupt heaven. They take their hands and put it in the Police Service Commission. They take their hands, put it by the Integrity Commission. The hands all over the place. Anything, you could have nothing here that could go as normal, as ought to be. Where they going with that? Where you going with it? You have to keep that final court of appeal or the final appellate court away from those people's reach, because I am certain that they can't approach nobody in London on that board, that Privy Council board. I am certain about that, and why I'm saying that, one has to examine the way in which judges are appointed to the CCJ. I heard Wade Mac alluded to that, and you must examine that. Once they have some input in that, you know what's going to happen. And even if they don't have an input, they get, and in fact they have an input. But I'm saying is that this place is too corrupt, right? As to leave it to leave justice in search of his justice. Nobody complain about the Privy Council, but they always believe they in Parliament, they in the Senate. They always believe they know what is best for you. So we go in there. Nobody has to ask all nothing about the justice for the people. You performing as a law officer. The people of Toronto, I never read no article where the people in Toronto, they go say they want the abolition or the move away from the Privy Council.
No,
but you wake up.
Them in charge. Them doing what they feel to do.
Yeah, the Grenada on 2 occasions or more, they voted not to leave the Privy Council. They said they were not going to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Jamaica said they're not going there, right? They had a referendum in Grenada, and they said no, we're not going to no thing. They hurry to go there, and I'm saying people have to understand. The gentleman raised a very important point with respect to that the election in Guyana. Yes, they went to the CCJ, but you remember the struggle, the fight that the present government had to undertake in order to form the government. The shenanigans that went on there. The shenanigans in terms of where people from the PNM went down to Guyana to help the Granger's government, and the comments that they were making. People had to get serious in this country, This country has to be transformed. This country has brought it brought to the lowest level, right? And don't let those people and them with their own agenda confuse and tap the heads of the people in this country. This country on a last limb. This country is just on a limb. It's nearing the precipice, or on the precipice already going down. And we have to hold it back. We have to hold it back. Don't let those people, because they hold certain position and they are attorney general and they are this and they are that and the other, they are senators and all them, confuse and bamboozle you. Because everything, all the things that you work hard for over the years, people like Weeks, people like Pandey, people like Robinson, people like all those people fought for, everything will come to, and in 6 years, you see the damage that has been done to this country? You see the damage in 6 years? All right, thank you.
Caller. Welcome, caller. Load on your radio caller.
Yes, good night, my friend.
Yes, good night.
I hear you say that you're confused, but nothing is for you to be confused in this country. You understand me? I get a little psalms here. Wait, see. The wicked walketh on every side, while the vilest men are exalted. Think on that and study it.
Thank you, caller.
Something is wrong with the minds of our people here. Some of them, it is weak. As you say, they have a mentality of fetting. They don't care whether Monday or on Sundays. When serious matter. Just study the Psalms. While the vilest men exalted, brother. There's nothing to be confused about. The Bible talk about these times. You understand what I'm showing you? And the people of Trinidad and Tobago have to get together where these wicked men are doing and women and point it out and let them know, well, here now, you can't control so because the poor man on the ground is not getting anything while the ministers and the government increase their salary. And nobody think about that because they're not, it's not a PNM, it's not a UNC. It's what is right, what is truthful, we have to fight for. Brother, you all keep on the fight. Keep on the good fight. Continue speaking the truth, eh?
Thank you, sister.
Yeah, all right.
Blessings. Well, boy, Vera, let me ask you this one time. I know the leader of the opposition wrote to the Chief Justice asking for clarifications in relation to a statement that you make in the parliament, that you make in the Senate. You said that judges call you and talk about the UNC behavior. And the leader wrote, and today nothing is forthcoming. So let me ask you a question. Vera, was it the Chief Justice who talked to you? Let me ask you a question. Was it the Chief Justice? Who it was? Who it was, Vera? Tell us. You talking about move from England to come Caribbean with these set of corrupt thief? Boy, you look, get serious in this place, eh? Welcome, Gola.
Hello, good night.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
Fine, fine.
Right, this is a call from Tobago, right?
Why Tobago?
I want to take my time and say what I'm saying. Now, Keith already went, he go like a wajang, right? He wanting money, he wanting money, he wanting money.
Yeah.
People need to get their money now. And now he is talking as stupid on Zahid, and Zahid is saying that if people get back pay, they go have to go home. Why they have to go home? Why they have to go home? Keep only keeping in ministers and then keep picture eyes and all. We say that minister national security, he should be a minister dog and not minister national security because all of them cannot control the country. All of them just wasting time. All of them just wasting time in parliament. They're talking about Kamala, and he's only doing worse than Kamala now. He's a wicked.
Caller, like your money done there or something, yeah, like we lost you there. Hello?
We lost the caller.
Like we lost everything. Hello? All right, 218-7762 is the number, 218-7762. I just want to continue to remind you that the views of the caller is not necessarily that of the radio station. And, of course, as we continue the program, this country, this Trinidad and Tobago, I don't know what is going on with you people. I don't know what is going on with you, I know what's going on with me. I have a great idea what's going on with Jeffrey, because remember I say when there's a man friend, you're supposed to at least know what he into. Alright? You have to know what he into. Hey, laughing so Jeffrey. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, comrade.
Comrade.
Jeffrey and
good evening.
Corky. Mr. Mr. Comrade.
Go ahead.
I want to ask Jeffrey a question, right?
Number
Yes. Now, if a leader of a spiritual organization could sell a personal land to the PNM to extend the big multi-complex, what do you expect? If the churches, the born again Christian, no disrespect to them, and they could collect welfare, and then after they tell the parishioners and them, in COVID, we could give them the selected few, and they hush them out. Right? They have the judiciary where the loss in cases in England, right? Like forthwith. What do you think they'll do? They had to come back to the Caribbean just waiting.
Yeah.
Because they know they can do it. But what I want to ask you, Jeff, and they say if you pervert the court of justice, is more guilty than the perpetrator.
That is true.
Jacob, McDonald Jacob, I call him my name, is the acting commissioner of police in Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley tell him he want an investigation into who take the claw out, right? But we asking Jacob now, the McDonald Jacob, acting commissioner, we want an investigation to know where every oil files gone, right? And the blatant truth, man thieving land by the illicit way, transferring funds all through the bank or the name, and it brought us daylight, and Jacob turned back on it. But remember, Fitzgerald Hines, right, asking you, he said in Parliament, he know who is the criminals, and where the criminals are, and they know this, but they can't find them. Is it that you could, I want to ask you, in Guyana, it's our mongoose gang, right? In Haiti, it's our mongoose gang. But you notice these rude boys and them jump out now and they're doing health and well-being, all they want. But you notice them police and them seen them and can't catch them because vehicle breakdown. If you cannot break down all that stuff, so when Camille, Grabi, right? And the NGC misbehavior in public office, right? And the $22 billion disappear. The COVID report disappear, right? For criminal negligence. With them, Jacob and them, you see the nastiness? So, come on, what we're saying here today, it's plain to see that the witchcraft that he bring the Obiaman from Ghana is to hoodwink these supporters of them. But as Akola called earlier and say that we near precipitate we slipping down, let the oil price just drop to $45 a barrel. And then they'll see how much money in there will start levying money just so. Have a nice day.
Thank you, caller.
Well, I think where we are today, oil price could be 1 million a barrel. 1 million. And the management of this government will very well come like if oil price is $5. Just right at the And be that as it may, I'm coming right back here. Right back here I'm coming. How could the Prime Minister allow Foster Cummins to sit as a senior cabinet minister while these serious allegations hangs over his head? How? That is one. But two, added to that, how come Trinidad and Tobago could remain so obedient while the taxpayer dollar, the future of this country, continue to go in government officials' pocket? Welcome, caller.
Hi, Mr. Roberts. Good night to you and Jeff and Koki.
Oh, sir. How are you, sir?
Hi, all right. You remember the fellow they call Abdul Malik?
Yes, of course.
Right. British intelligence working with the Guyana police hold Malik on the Brazilian border just about to cross. If that was Trinidad police, he gone, you know. He escaped. We police are jokers. Look how small Trinidad is. And for that, you can't hold people. The next thing I want to talk about is the CCJ. That is a no-no. Knowing the history of West Indian politics, we have to retain the Privy Council for the simple reason nobody on the Privy Council won't even think about taking a bribe. They won't even think about attempting to take a bribe. You can't conviction for the CCJ. Right? Thanks for the call, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, caller. Welcome, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts.
My Santa Cruz, how are you?
Good, I'm okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Corky, and to everybody out there.
Blessings.
Mr. Roberts, I totally agree with you with the church. You understand? As I once told Archbishop Harris, right, and I said it to this new one here, if all you want to get into politics, drop the gong and put on a red t-shirt. Don't use the pulpit as a political platform for the PNM. You know what is distasteful? And as you rightly said, all of them turning a blind eye because PNM full in the basket for them. Because that is what is important to them right now. When Archbishop Harris was there, he knew everybody who were leaving in droves because of the government, the then government, and that was the partnership government. He know that. He know he could talk about all the murders and all, everything that was going on. He's not there. And next one take over, and he's just as deceitful. You had Archbishop Berkeley of the Anglican Church in 2015 at Easter telling everybody, hold on, a resurrection is coming, right? He talked about everything that he mimicked everything that Keith Rowley said on the platform. He said it on the pulpit. Where are you today, Berkeley? Look at what's going on in this country. Look at the murders, the mayhem, the corruption, and all they don't have a word to say. The church is too deceitful. Thanks a lot. Take care and have a good night.
Well said, Miss Santa Cruz, and that is a fact. Let me tell you something. I will deal with some of them tonight. So, welcome.
Good night, my brother Victor.
How are you, sir?
How are you?
Good, Brian. Good.
No, it's always a pleasure to listen to you. And I almost forgot. A pleasant good night to the indomitable Corky.
Yeah, he step out and everything in the next room.
That's all right, man. Must give him the greeting.
Yes, of course.
You know, there are two issues I would like to speak on. I know time is limited.
Yeah.
Right? One matter, as you were talking about the clergy. Now, we must never forget there was a man by the name of Father Harvey. Where is Father Harvey today? Father Harvey criticized the People's Partnership so many times.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's somewhere in Grenada.
Well, I'm serious, right? Because he said so many things. You're very correct that there were so many organizations. And I saw today the unions march in Port of Spain. And I really wanted to use that really for the first point. In that, in 2015, in 2020, we warned you all, we told you all, the People's National Movement has always been, will always be anti-worker. Has always been that way. They don't care about the workforce. These are the people who will fire you. I said, let's take you to court now. I could take about 10 years because you're out of office and then the new government got to deal with that. So we warned you all. You all got a 2%. Under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, every wage negotiation was dealt with. Even for the public servants where you have got 14%. So it shows that you're a government that was caring for you. But you are bought into the propaganda of the People's National Movement. So let's take that. They went and dragged a mannequin up and down the road in Port of Spain. I see they bring something looking like Dr. Rowley and they have it on top of a pedestal and pushing it along. I didn't put it on the ground and drag it too. But nonetheless, only vote for that. My final point, and I hope I'm not taking up your time, is that I see an issue has been raised with the CCJ. The CCJ, yes, in 2000, came into effect under the United Nations, under then Prime Minister Basil Pandit. But people don't understand. Under the UNC, when it was being brought into volition, that there were matters to be put on the CCJ serving it as an independent body. But not only being independent, but you also have to ensure that the judges that you have served must also understand. So the argument that was being put forward is that they are more on culture than law. In 2007, and it's hard by people must learn the history of this, then Member of Parliament for Princess Song, MP Subhash Pandey, had to explain to them, right, that you have judges who are using culture for those who are sitting CCJ judges to give a judgment. Not law, or fact, but culture. They must also remember that prior to 2010, in 2009, a learned attorney at law, she became the leader of the opposition in 2010. Her name is Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Also explained that the CCJ must be an independent body, no matter if you have Caribbean judges. And you know what happened there? You had the PNM coming in and saying, well, so how you know who independent? So a judge must be independent no matter what. But if you look at the latest ruling coming out of the CCJ, there's nothing on factual law, they've ruled on culture. So we were saying no to the CCJ until they understand that their role as adjudicators mustn't be on culture, mustn't be on what happens in the country. It has to be on an issue of fact and an issue of law. That's how it has to be. My brother, I hope one day to come back on the show with you. I think you've done a good job. I wish to wish Trinidad and Tobago a happy Indian Arrival Day. Let us all remember, our forefathers came across the Kalapani, and out of that came a future of leaders in all sectors, may it be political, socio-economical, or even in other agencies, reform, sporting facilities, or any other. My brother, have a good night. Stay safe. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up. It is time to remove the PNM, and it's time for Rowley to go. Today was just the smoke, the fire coming. Take care, my brother. And before I go, I do fully endorse for political leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. God bless. Stay strong. And that was attorney at law, Brian Wade. And we want to thank Big for his contribution. So we'll take a break, and let me take this call first. All right, I think we missed it. All right, we have 3 minutes before the break. All right, so we open back the phone lines. We have 3 minutes before the break. 218-7762. Right. We go deal with Rosie them just now. Welcome, caller.
Okay, good night, Mr. Robert.
Good night.
I appreciate you being honest with the audience, and that's good because you're trying to address everything and you're trying to remain neutral, but you're a party supporter and hey, you have an election to win, right? Because we need leadership in this country, so I appreciate what you're doing. But the last caller spoke about the Caribbean Court of Justice. And I think that is, we need a Caribbean Court of Justice. Why do we have to keep running to our former colonist or our master? We will never aspire to be one great CARICOM if we don't trust each other. And it comes from utilizing the resources we have right here.
All right, let me ask you a question right at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Recommend to me a judge who you would like to see sitting on that CCJ?
Well, I don't really know many judges in the Caribbean. All I know is locally, and I think Justice Ivor Archie is unsuitable to sit on that. He's very intelligent, he's very bright, but he's unsuitable. He just comes from a lot of money and a rich family, and I feel like many of the judges here, we have a handful of judges. Judge Sipasad, Judge Sipasad? He's a very he's a pastor too, a preacher, but he's a very good judge. He's moral. He comes across as somebody who is very fair. But I think a lot of the judges here were appointed because of favoritism and political bias. I'll be very honest with you. There's some judges that are unfit to sit in the office and on a bench because they're very sexist, and some of them are very, it happens behind closed doors. They're human. And they're Trinidadians. They could be highly educated, and they carry these biases with them, and it shows because a lot of times they're lazy and they're sloppy in their decisions. And when it goes to the Privy Council, they laugh at us. You ever see those judges? They're like, "Oh yeah, we have another former Trinidad and Tobago," and it's insulting. We need to, for us to really become powerful and create jobs. We need to trust the other CARICOM countries, and we need to really demand that the United States, if they're doing business with us, give us the jobs here. We don't want you to just come here and dump pollution here and take all the money and get out.
All right, Ms. Majas, we're going for the,
all right.
we got to go for the
Okay,
break
3
now.
minutes
Thanks for your call.
Okay.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
U975 FM would like you to be a part of our Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion. You have the chance to win an all-inclusive party for your dad and 4 of his friends. Yes, your father and 4 he partners. We take the party to a Dynamic Dad and 4 of his friends. So I guess all I want to know how to enter. Listeners, you can call at 7:30 a.m. and at 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday and complete the following sentence. It was my dad that taught me to, and fill out the rest. Whatever your father teach you to. So whether he teach you to tie the goat or to pelt mango, just tell us what your father taught you. So the callers' names would be dropped into an entry box for a random draw on Monday the 20th of June 2022. Your dad can be the lucky winner of U975 Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion. Competition runs from 20th May to 19th June. So come on and be a part of our Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion on U975.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Flashback. Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chima presents a journey into the past. May 29th, live performances. The Anarchists, Code Black. Also featuring Axel Caceres all the way from Venezuela. And Vic the Panis. And yours truly, Billy's Hi-Fi, the Metal Merchant. Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chima. May 29th, the day before the holiday. It's an open-air event. Tickets $100. Call 776-5037 for more info. Flashback. a journey into the past at Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chima. It's gonna be a multicultural event. It's also a tribute to Indian Arrival Day. So come on down and enjoy yourself. Listen to U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Radio and WBHM The Voice of Rock for ticket giveaways. Flashback. Check it out.
Due to late arrival of goods, the Fabinja Expo in Chaguanas will now be closing on Monday the 6th of June. Brand new containers, latest variety of fashion just arrived. Perfect timing for wedding shopping. Celebrate this Indian arrival with the entire family. Special booth catering for kids to wear Indian garments at school. Tandoori King Food Court. Meals starting as low as $20.99. New edition of Bombay Chaat. Enjoy Pan Puri, Gulguppa, Dahi Chaat and so much more. New edition in dosas. Hakka combos as low as $20. Fresh juice at Ali's Juice. End your cravings at Nanu's Kulfi. Perfect place for the entire family. The must-visit expo. The Fab India Expo. Opposite the Medford gas station in Chaguanas. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, including weekends.
U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Radio Power is at Mamu's Bar, Main Road, Macbean, Couva, the night before the holiday on Sunday, 29th May, from 9 p.m. till midnight with live entertainment by Kavita Ramkisoon.
Stop catching Malkadi, stop catching Malkadi, stop catching Malkadi, boy, stop catching Malkadi.
The Hitman.
Yes, my best friend tried to take my girl from me. Yes, my girl from me. The fella name is Rat Boy, they call him Ravi B.
Shooting Stars Tassa Group, DJ Vishal, and special appearance by Big Rich the Pungalunks. Cutters on sale. Don't miss out on the bar hopper the night before the holiday, Sunday 29th May. Admission is free at Mamu's Bar, Macbean Village, Couva. Be there.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
All right, so we are back. So my last question, ladies and gentlemen, will, how come this Prime Minister would allow Foster Cummins to remain a senior cabinet minister while these investigations, serious investigations, continue to exist? 2, you the people in this country, what we going to do? I would like if somebody could tell me, what would we do? Welcome, Kola.
Victor, good night, I'm to the panel.
Good night, sir.
Victor, what prompted me to call now is just considering this last caller who just called this lady. When you ask her about what should name some lawyers or some judges.
A judge, yeah.
A judge. And she could name Ivar. No, she doesn't read, she doesn't know history, a little bit of the history, not too far history. The guy was watching something yesterday or the day before yesterday with this guy, the one in England. I like to say it's circulating now on YouTube. About the same goodly man she's speaking about, who is so good. He's an educated judge. Yeah. You understand? These people have something wrong with them. I just hear her contribution sometimes. I say, what the hell wrong with this woman? But if she don't listen, like she ain't reading properly or what?
The man you're talking about is Dillian Johnson.
Yeah, I didn't want to call because I didn't want to
You know, to jeopardize the station, I mean, if you could
Nah,
do
nah.
that.
It's public. It's on the public platform. So yeah, we lost you there. Once it's on the public platform, yeah, no problem. Hello, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Victor.
Good night, sir.
to the panel.
Yes, good night.
I totally agree with Ms. Santa Cruz. And you see, the last question you asked about the judge, you see Ms. Thomas Felix? She's a fair woman. She's a very fair woman. I don't know if she up in that caliber to reach that kind of situation, but she's a very fair woman. You know? And the way how the country running right now, I don't know when the people are looking at eyes, you know, but we're paying much too much taxes in this country. And now they want to kill you with this property tax too. We're paying PAYE, NIS, health charge, VAT, 10% on the pop, plus they get rich raises again. Now they want to bring property tax. What do they want to do? And everything going up in the grocery every day. Even when Price Smart, I went Price Smart today, everything going up. Dog chow going up, cat chow going up, right? Some I catching my ass to my animals, but like I'll sell a cooked dog and cat now to eat. It's ridiculous. These people and see Rowley and the health minister, they need to be taken to the World Criminal Court. You see all the people that die for them to get money, right? They need to go through that system like Hitler and all of them, and they run them down and shoot them down.
But Kola, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And you're right with what you're saying, right? Let me just be quick. What the question remains is, what are we to do now? We know what's going on, we've seen what's going on, we're experiencing. But what would it take for us to...
But boy, we start today with the unions, everybody get together and they come out and they do what they could do. But we need more reinforcement than that. And we need the people in like Express and News, they and Guardian, come out and talk the truth and support the black people and them now. Let the money trickle down to the poor people and them now. Right? Come out and force the government to do work. Come the churches, all these organizations, come out and force the government to do what is correct. It is ridiculous what is going on in the country. Poor people can't live here just now.
So let me ask you one other quick question. Do you trust the unions?
No.
Okay.
I don't trust them, but if we had to stand up to get the backbone of the unions, then we don't have a choice. Because we need the people to come together to stand up. But you see this man, all these unions who talking, when they reach up on the platform, they're talking Kamala bad. They were a waste of time. And is that to me? But not, and is that is a waste of time. Right? That's my personal thing. And Roger, if all they could do, all they do and shoot down people so they can't get nothing in this country. All the years, what all of them do the work in the country so the country could build and have a proper workforce. And all of a sudden, all they mash up everything. What do you expect the country to do? Mr. Robert, you have a blessed night.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your call. Welcome, caller.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, Brother Victor and the panel there.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Boy, these union and them playing games, they continue to play games and that's how it will be. These fellas and them have a price. And they could be brought out very easy.
Well, what was the chant today with the unions? You have an idea what was the chant, what they was chanting today?
No, I wasn't there and I know what take place.
Well, I hearing the chant was step down, Rowley, step down. Step down, in boot, step down. Step down, Rowley, step down. I hear that was the chant. I hear the chant was Rowley must go, Inboot must go. I hear step down.
Step down to where?
You see, all right, when you finish, I go talk. Go ahead, Cole. I know.
Yeah, but what is step down to what?
Well, step down and put some step. No, the union is singing that song, boy. You're mad. The union is singing that song. The union is singing step out and get rid of the PNM. You know, the union is singing that. You know, the union singing Rowley must step down and Inboot must step down. That's what the union singing.
All right.
right. What they're saying is that these fellas must step down unless somebody else replace them within the party.
That is what they're saying indirectly. That is what they're saying, Kola. That is what they're saying. Me and Union and Rosian and Iset and Lambert and all of them. Me. Boy.
Them a joker.
What time to waste? They waste time.
Yeah. I can't waste my time
Step
behind
down,
them.
Rowdy, step down.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look what's happening in the country. It's the worst administration administrated on the people, right? In a very long time. And these fellas continue to play games. Boy, you know, man. It's joke. People just making joke in this place. And that's why them fellas and them continue to do what they're doing, and as long as they're there, they will continue to do what they're doing.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, take care.
Blessings. Welcome, caller.
Hi. Good evening again, Mr. Roberts, and the folk here to everybody. Ask a question about Foster Cummings. Rowley's not going to get rid of him because he responded to one reporter by saying, "Do you want me to tar feather him?" It's the same thing he said about Darrell Smith. And it's the same thing he said about Shamford. You understand? It was an accidental development arising out of ignorance. He is not going to get rid of Foster Cummings because Foster Cummings holding secret firm. It's one set of rules for the PNM and a next set for the other people. You understand? Now, this thing with the CCJ, I don't want them to be the final courts, you know, Mr. Roberts. I want us to stay with the Privy Council because you remember for the 2015 elections, what Ivor Archie did? He removed Barrow from the appeal court and inserted himself there to make a decision. Although Justice Amor said that it was an illegal act. So how can it be legal? How can the judgment be legal? And you took that decision upon yourself to say you don't want to send the country back to the polls. That was not your decision. And that is why we don't want the Caribbean Court of Justice. We want the Privy Council because they are fairer on everything than the jurors that we have in the Caribbean. You understand? And the next thing, this thing with Father Harvey's in this place
Grenada?
in Grenada. Yeah, he's the bishop there now, and he gone in Grenada to tell the people don't get involved in politics. But you inserted yourself into politics in this country. And Mr. Roberts, let me tell you something. You see the unions, they're a bunch of mocking pretenders. That is why I did not waste my time, and I make no bones about it, going out there and supporting them. You heard you repeated the chant that they were saying.
Yeah.
Why didn't they say Rowley must go?
Nah, they ain't saying that.
Why didn't they say, no, they must step down?
Yeah, they ain't saying that.
Did you see, Mr. Roberts, did you see the amount of respect he had for Rowley Mannequin? I wish he had the same amount for Kamala's Mannequin. You hear? And they can stay right there. Look at how much thing going on in this country. But all they came out for 2% because that was more important than all the things that's going on in this country. Nothing else is important. Look at the gas prices. Look at the food prices. What the gentleman was just saying. Every week you go in the grocery, everything is going up. Just so we cannot afford to buy even the basic necessities. And all what Kamala asking him to cut the VAT on basic food items, that man refused to do it. And then the unions want us to go out there and support them. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm not supporting them. Have a good one, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Miss Santa Cruz. And this is the facts, you know. This is the facts. This is reality. You see, when me and Jeffrey spoke, let me take this one. Welcome, Gola.
Quickly, gentlemen, one more time.
Yeah, quickly. Go ahead.
If you notice something, pay attention that statement that we're not closing down Petrochin was early. But when the AV scandal break out,
bye-bye,
somebody
Petrochin.
advised him to shut down Petrochin.
Bye-bye,
Have a good night.
Petrochin. Thank you, Kola. Bye-bye, Petrochin. You see, went Edinburgh 500 gong, Jeffrey. With I think that was the pushback for something, some number.
The last pushback.
Yeah, somewhere there. Welcome, caller.
I heard all kind of chant. The chant a little Rowley must go. We want the money now. Bam, bam, we want the money now. And all kind of different.
You hear that chant on the mic? Rowley must go?
No, people was chanting
right,
it.
So let me tell you
the
people who was chanting it. The man who started that chant is a gentleman by the name of Jeffrey. And that was short-lived.
Wow.
and
okay.
You're right here with me. And that was short-lived.
Okay, all right.
All right, go ahead, make your contribution.
I can't talk, I have 1 minute left.
All right, well, this is 1 minute left. Welcome, caller.
Mr. Victor.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I feel? The people are comfortable. They like what's going on. Because if they didn't like it, they would have do something. Today was the opportunity, and they didn't take it. So they're happy with what's going on. You know why all the beaten up are behind them? They're happy. They're comfortable. All what's going on. But I am so fed up. I really, really fed up. But what can I do? I can't do nothing alone. I remember in 69, I think it was, when the black movement came out. Listen on. They really did something, you know.
Correct.
And I was so scared. I was a little girl that time. I was so scared. Myself, like, so at night, because I was in school for blind, right? And I hear a chanting, we want power, for we smoking marijuana. And I tell you, I was so afraid that they'd come and burn down our school, but they didn't do it. But right now, these people are happy. They're comfortable, man. Stop beating up all that stuff behind them. They're very comfortable because today was a day they should have do something, right? And they did nothing. Nothing at all. So, leave them.
So, when I mean they, who are you referring to?
What? Sorry?
When you said they should have done something, who are you referring to? The union leaders,
Yes, and them come to the on Robert Amar program every Tuesday and bump it and come study and they couldn't do nothing. So why are they going to say Rowley must go?
Because they are PNM also.
Well, okay, then leave them. That's all I can say, leave them. If they're happy with what they're getting. December 1st is property tax. And they will have to pay it. Right? And so leave them. Leave them, let them bump the gum and stay quiet now, man.
Thank you, caller.
Mr. Look what I shoot the man for the gold chain. Now tell me, they shoot the poor man for flipping gold chain. And the people are happy about that. Nobody making no cry, nothing. They're saying Black Lives Matter. Akil Chambers said he was a little black boy. His life didn't matter too. And Mr. Victor, remember the cops so actually bucked them up, eh?
Thank you, caller.
Right, I go on.
Thank you, caller. And that is the thing. That is the thing. And Jeffrey, I know he was right, you know. I know he was right. But you say going there to prove the point. And so you did. And I congratulate you on that stand you took. Because I intend to waste my time with Rojan, and he said, I went Edinburgh 500. And Anisette stood up on the platform. And when I hear Anisette speech, I tell my trainer and them, let's move. Because I have been telling the people of this country, the unions, they are PNM. They are PNM. There's no maybe about that. The unions is toting our feelings right now. Let me tell you something. Today or tomorrow, if Rowley call and give them 4% or 5%, boy, you making joke. They will lick the bottom of Rowley toe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I said today? They will lick the bottom of Rowley toe. You watch the behavior of this union. I will develop it after this call. Welcome, caller.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
What I want to say is that all these union leaders, they're licking Rowley K-Pack big time. And they're only doing things to fool people. They're only fooling people. And there's people who buy that. You know? So, you know, people have to get up. They have to get up and they have to wake up. Get up and sleep and see what is happening. What Mr. King Liar Rowley. He's the biggest liar they have in the world. I want to put blame and lie on somebody else. You know, he always keep on bashing at Kamala. But he cannot clash himself with Kamala. Neither anyone that is trying to members of parliament in the Kenyan government. They can't clash themselves with Kamala. No? So Rowley is jealous of that. Because he's a Wajan. He's a Wajan. He's a bully. He's a fighter. He's a disrespectful prime minister. Look, I am calling from Canada, Victor. And we had negotiations, the local union. They demanded 58% increase in salary. You know what they got? They got 26%. Settled last night.
Good.
This is how people negotiate. Unions negotiate for workers. So all these guys like Roger and Anderson and all these guys, they're wasting of time. They're only trying to fool people, but they don't realize that they're fooling themselves. Because people in the outer world listen, they see, and they hear, and they analyze what is going on. You know?
Thank you, caller.
This was supposed to come in. People are here in Canada. He would have been out of parliament until the investigation is completed. But Rowley like it so, because they're the same. Birds of a feather flock together. And then it's about the Rowley. You know? And Rowley always want to talk bad things about Kamala. You know, he don't realize you must just throw stone at other people's glass house when you have a glass house. You know?
Thank you, my brother.
And I could say, again, Rowley is King Liar. Do they have that King Cobra? But he's a King Liar. And we have it, so. That's what I would say.
Thank you, my brother. You see, these trade unions that we have in this country, you watch what happened in this country over the past 7 years, Jeffrey. And where are the voices, where are the mouths of those who say they represent people? Under the pandemic, the working class were treated like dogs. Where the voice of the trade union? Where the voice of the trade unions? Welcome, caller.
So some trade unions are waste of time. You know that, I know that. I want to talk about Mr. Roy in the parliament, really. I couldn't believe what this lady's here, trying to defend what happened with the children. She said you hire people, very qualified, best of ability, but you don't know what's in their mind. So that was so stupid on her part.
Well, she right, you know, caller.
Supposed to be inspected at least once a week.
Caller, she right. Because the same thing they do with Keith Rowley. They hire him, and now they see what was in his mind.
Well, all right. But it's true. Those institutions supposed to be inspected at least once a week. You have to know what you're about. You just hire somebody. I used to work. My supervisor had to report to the sales manager, and then the sales manager had to report to the marketing director. They don't just leave it like that. So that real nonsense she talk. It's like years ago you see county council and them was cutlass in all the rivers and all of them every 2 weeks. right? Now you have drones. You could see when the drones are see. But they live in the day, and when rain falls, they say the people stink and dirty. Instead of going and cleaning it. So that is what I boil along to. Nobody doing the job.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
People used to come and brush your cutlass and brush your... Listen, man, you have enough flood and thing in them days. Now you have, what you call it, drone, you could... And sit down in office and join salary. So you hire people in our children, to answer that children are dirty. You have all these homes, Mr. Roberts. It's children you're dealing with. That's number one. Good? They come like the Geneva Convention during the war. They better used to visit all the prisoners in the camps to see what's going on. And who afraid to talk, they tell them talk. So why we can't have people policing these institutions?
But, all right. All right. Thank you, caller.
All right.
And caller, I will tell you why they won't have police in these institutions. How could you put police to watch these institutions? How would the government ministers, how would the judiciary, how would the lawyers, how would the businessmen pick up these children to abuse them if you put police to watch? It's not, let me tell you something, it's not the natural criminal on the side of the road that abusing these children, you know. The people who are abusing these children is people who sitting in high, big offices. They are the ones. They are the ones, ministers, judges, lawyers, businessmen. And from how I hear some of them senators talking, some of them independent senators, like some of them involved too. Some of them involved too. These are the people who are abusing our children. So Ayanna Webster Roy, she fully well know what she's saying. Because at the end of the day, what they are good of, or good with, a matter of fact, is to make excuse and more excuse. That is what the PNM is good for. Call back, caller, take it too late. That is what they're good for. To make excuse. They have no solution to the problem. They cannot fix the problem. And the people in this country will sit down and see what's happening. And they too will sit like a bunch of dumb people and allow the country to go down the drain where even the children would not have a proper life. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night again.
Yes, sir, good night.
One of the things I have to be telling you, Vic, is that what is to happen is that there's a mobilization to take place in Trinidad and Tobago. You are doing well on your program. However, when you look at Trinidad and Tobago, we have been in this predicament for quite a number of years, right? Since 1962, I suppose. So we have had, in Trinidad and Tobago, you have had the people in the East-West corridor voting in a particular way, people after the county bridge voting in a particular way, and then you have in Tobago is another kettle of fish. Now, you are a aspiring politician, and I hope that the next time an election is called, you win a seat to get into the parliament, right?
They will throw me out quick, caller.
Huh?
They will throw me out quick.
No. You have to, you see, you have an opportunity to mobilize people, but you have to get out there. You have the potential, you have the spirit. But you see, when you speak, you have to be able to speak to people who have, their minds are already made up. There are people you cannot change their minds. You see, there are two things we don't know. What somebody have in their mind and what they have in their heart.
Yeah.
And when you know who you believe in, if you believe in Jesus Christ and you serve him right, he will guide you, he will show you things. And you possess that capability. You have that in you. You have that natural in you. Now, regarding the church in Trinidad and Tobago, the church is preaching apostasy. All the religions are out of order. But we're living in a time when Jesus Christ tells you this thing is going to happen. If you read Matthew 24, he tells you that, isn't it? He tells you that the day is coming. There will be a time that we're still going to have trials and tribulation and wars and rumors and when you've seen that. So we have to look at what has happened now. Not
Trinidad and Tobago, what is happening in the world. There was a time in the world they had a man called Nebuchadnezzar, eh?
Mm-hmm.
And Nebuchadnezzar doing the same thing that Putin doing today. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nebuchadnezzar take over the whole of Israel, the whole of the Middle East there, and now you have Putin fighting for the United States of Soviet Russia. You can't blame him for that. He is fixed in his way. Whatever he is doing, it's all going to happen in Trinidad and Tobago and every country in the world. Is the price of foodstuffs will escalate. The price of hydrocarbon will rise. All the products of hydrocarbon will rise. And eventually we will face a world recession we have never seen before. So the people of Trinidad has to be smart. You know, they're deluded. What's what the Satan delude these people. Don't vex with them. I'll tell you before. Don't vex with them, boy. You possess something in you as a human being, as a Trinidadian, that people will one day appreciate what you're doing. But mobilization is the key. Right?
Thank you, caller.
Bless you and keep you on Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much. You had to take the break.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
U975 FM would like you to be a part of our Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion. You have the chance to win an all-inclusive party for your dad and 4 of his friends. Yes, your father and 4 he partners. We take the party to a Dynamic Dad and 4 of his friends. So I guess all I want to know how to enter. Listeners, you can call at 7:30 a.m. and at 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday and complete the following sentence. It was my dad that taught me to, and fill out the rest. Whatever your father teach you to. So whether he teach you to tie the goat or to pelt mango, just tell us what your father teach you. Taught you. So the callers' names would be dropped into an entry box for a random draw on Monday the 20th of June 2022. Your dad can be the lucky winner of U975 Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion. Competition runs from 20th May to 19th June. So come on and be a part of our Dynamic Dad Father's Day promotion on U975 FM.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Flashback. Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chaima presents a journey into the past. May 29th, live performances. The Anarchists, Code Black. Also featuring Axel Caceres all the way from Venezuela. And Vic the Panis. And yours truly, B's Hi-Fi, the Metal Merchant. Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chaima. May 29th, the day before the holiday. It's an open-air event. Tickets $100. Call 776-5037 for more info. Flashback. A journey into the past at Jerry Junction Bar, Karapi Chaima. It's gonna be a multicultural event. It's also a tribute to Indian Arrival Day. So come on down and enjoy yourself. Listen to U975 FM Hot Like Pepper Radio and WBHM The Voice of Rock for ticket giveaways. Flashback. Check it out.
Due to late arrival of goods, the Fabinja Expo in Chaguanas will now be closing on Monday the 6th of June. Brand new containers, latest variety of fashion just arrived. Perfect timing for wedding shopping. Celebrate this Indian arrival with the entire family. Special booth catering for kids to wear Indian garments at school. Tandoori King food court. Meals starting as low as $20.99. New edition of Bombay Chaat. Enjoy Pan Puri, Gulguppa, Dahi Chaat and so much more. New edition in dosas. Hakka combos as low as $20. Fresh juice at Ali's Juice. End your cravings at Nanu's Kulfi. Perfect place for the entire family. The must-visit expo. The Fabinja Expo. Opposite the Medford gas station in Chaguanas. Opening hours 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, including weekends.
U975 FM, hot like pepper. Radio Bar is at Mamu's Bar, Main Road, Macbean, Couva. The night before the holiday on Sunday, 29th May, from 9 p.m. till midnight, with live entertainment by Kavita Ramkisoon.
Stop catching Malkadi. Stop catching Malkadi. Stop catching Malkadi. Boy, stop catching Malkadi.
The Hitman.
Yes, my best friend tried to take my girl from me. Yes, my girl from me. The fella name is Rat Boy, they call him Ravi B.
Shooting Stars Tassa Group, DJ Vishal, and special appearance by Big Rich the Pungalungs. Cutters on sale. Don't miss out on the bar hopper the night before the holiday, Sunday 29th May. Admission is free at Mamu's Bar, Macbean Village, Couva. Be there.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Welcome back. So, Ayanna Webster Roy, I will expect that kind of nonsense to be said, because to the end of the day, when you could have a report and you and the Prime Minister sits on that report with the abuse of children in our country and sits on that report for over 5 to 6 months, allowing the abuse to continue, what kind of individual do you believe we have sitting running this country today? They have sit on that report. They now tell you that they are going to put a task force in place to come up with recommendation. So while that task force is in place, the abuse will continue. It is to give the perpetrator feast day to do as they please and as they want. And when you have security guards and other individuals within the presence of these children, where they are so vulnerable, because on the one hand, security is, I think they get the minimum wage in some way or the other. So when a big boy pass and offer a digit for a child, together with the conspiracy of those who run the home, what do you expect will happen? Welcome, Gordon.
Can I make another contribution, Mr. Roberts? I wouldn't take too long, I promise. I'll make you laugh a little bit. Remember when the Prime Minister was at a conference and Fane Richards, I think that's her name, she asked him a question and he said, well, maybe after the conference we could go and have a drink. And she was like shocked and she said, maybe a non-alcoholic drink? And the Prime Minister said, that is not a real drink. Now, the reason why I say that is because he's a Trini to the bone, eh? Only a Trini can say that. But what I wanted to say was this. You see, Fane Richards reminds me of a lot of people in Trinidad. People who don't look like us. The white people, the French Creoles, the Syrians, the elites who have businesses here. And they will see such bad behavior in government and they will never speak up because they're afraid. They are afraid and they have this guilt because they know our history. They know our rich history. They were never part of our history. They didn't come here as indentured laborers. They didn't come here in chains. You know, when you go to India and you meet people from India and they know that you're from Trinidad Indian, they have no idea about your history. They look at you and say you were that part of the indentureship, yeah, and they just are amazed with that story because nobody took that risk. Many of our Indian people got fooled to come here, bribed. They were the poorest of the poor, and slaves from Africa. Can you imagine 600 years? We've only been here over 100 years, Mr. Roberts. And the slaves, African slaves, have been here. They fought in a civil war in the in a revolution war in the United States. There were slaves who fought in Haiti hundreds of years ago. They've been here 600 years now. I was saying this because I was reading an article by this Indian philosopher and a professor, and he studied our culture in Trinidad and the Caribbean. You know what he said? He said he could never understand why the Indian people and the African people didn't have such a rich culture together and intermarry and become such a rich one culture. Because we had it. It was coming and it got stolen. You see, that is why they could never bring we together. Because they allow these politicians, and the politicians are in these rich people pockets. And we could say this because we know when they pass laws, all these laws about banks and businesses, it's to benefit them. You know, and all the government could do, they allow all the mismanagement of the government because, you know, hey, they have got guilt in them because they were never part of our history, so they're afraid to say anything because they know if they speak up, what will happen?
Thank you, Ms. Madras.
Okay.
When you have these people at those institutions, welcome, Kola.
Good night, Mr. Robert.
Good night, sir.
I'm already on your program, but I do call regular. I want to ask you if you see today's Guardian.
No, today.
Well, today's Guardian, they have Foster Collins and Rowley picture together. And Rowley say he's not going to fire Foster Collins.
Well, we would expect that.
When I read that, I laugh, boy.
Yeah, it's nothing strange.
Yeah. So let me call you and tell you that.
Thank you, Kola. It is nothing strange, you know, if you see 4 kobo and a pigeon on a lamppost, and you chase them, and all of them fly, and you ask the average man, what just fly there? He going and tell you 5 kobo is 4 old one and a young one. So I wouldn't expect them not to be together. They're supposed to be together in Welcome, Kola.
Hey, Mr. Roberts, me again. I accept what you say about Repsoroy, right? Because from all in the 60s, when you can't get water and current going every day, Badies and Albert Gould and my cousin was involved with it, they said this PNM is a cult. How all this should be going on and people still voting for them? Right? And like it's no comment. But she named Reggie, tell Kamala, name the people who are involved in these things. What Kamala go do? You need to tell a brave man like Anil and say you.
Yeah.
Anil go do that, you know that?
Yeah.
And well, I will tell you about the people that get in this monkeypox, they will tell you on Fox News, eh? There's people who are involved in this thing. So who knows? We might keep breaking out on them for that face just now.
But I seen it on them already, ain't watching them go to. Thank you, Kola. Yeah, that breaking out on them one time. You watch these evil devils and them and they will see what I'm talking about. Welcome, Kola.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Mr. Robertson. Hospital will be asking for, what's the name for? Rowley to fire this one and fire that one from the cabinet. The whole PNM had to go. He and all had to go.
Exactly.
Why them asking, why you don't fire this one? Why you don't fire? The whole PNM had to go because it starts from the head, which is Rowley.
Exactly.
The most corrupt prime minister. Right? We're talking about he had to fire this one, he had to fire that one. The PNM had to go. And point blank. Right? The thing about it too, another thing, as you rightfully saying concerning the unions, all them unions, PNM, all of them. Right? I know a fella who was working in Petrotrin. He just sent home and that bitch still went back and voted for PNM. You understand?
Wicked to yourself.
Like I telling you, I don't sorry for them at all. Right? So when people come and say about the workers, the union, the workers, what they care about the workers don't care about themselves. Right? Before the election, there was some problem in the judiciary, but they want to hire more people and more staff and so on. And I saw this, they had protests and so on with the judiciary. I saw them went back and voted for PNM again. So I don't sorry for them. I don't really hope. I am a little work. I safeguarded myself. I hope I stay until I reach my 6th day, right? And without this in my home, right?
And all of them want to fight up because you talk to them and they'll fed up talk, you fed up talk, all of each other talk. In election time, I talked to one just sometime today and saying, but who we go put? You hear how they still have the stupid attitude?
Idiots.
So he's talking, but there is no day on race because he's saying he go put the next ball head clown, what's his name, Duke, right? Right, that's how it is, because you don't know his race and them on already. Okay, what Kamala do so bad in Trinidad and Tobago that they can't re-elect she? Like, give each other laptop, she give this grant, she do that grant, she did what a prime minister supposed to do in our country, and that is why all the black women and saying all kind of wrong things and bad things about her. This madman come and take out everything that she put on what is good to serve the people. And he take out all and he put in tax on and he doing this and he doing that, and he was saying before election too, he go raise the tax and the people in a crowd roaring, yeah. And half of them can't pay the buy food, but they go pay tax and re. You understand? These people are a bunch of racial people, but and I hate to hear when they're talking about the UNC and people is vote race and this. The UNC people is more vote on issues than about getting proper governance in our country. Not about those that are racist. Might have one or two. Because I don't really hear that because you can talk to a PNM. When you talk to a PNM, first thing they always say, them people. What are they talking about? You don't hear the Indian people, let me just say so. Right? The Indian people say, but them people. No, it's African always say them people. Or they go vote for them people and them people.
Starting with Rowley, she just say them people and them on the other side and all that nonsense.
You understand? And they follow that stupidness, and by the time they're suffering, I just seen a new phenomenon, as I said, when Paget they on the highway in Rowley constituency, and they're turning to go Westmoreland, there people with placard, African people with little placard, the majority, with little placard asking for food to help them out. I tell them, I say, go and ask Rowley, all in the right constituency, go and ask Rowley. I woke up in Port of Spain, I never see that office for Rowley in Larkin Valley Road open. I never see that. When he was an MP, when he was an opposition leader, nothing, no time he used to visit that office, always the most ghost office you ever see. You understand? Nobody never inside that, and people supporting that boy. And then after they want to come and ask me for $1 and ask me for things, and then after when it's election time comes, don't say people asking me for things, it's talking to them, trying to lead them in the right direction. They're saying about, it's Kamala, and it's this one, and it's that one. And like this idiot I talked today talking about, about Duke and Duke. I say all that to force is PNM. Better go and put direct for PNM, right? Because all they do is just a third force is always get the PNM the upper hand.
Brother,
right?
Thank you for your call.
All right.
All them who talking about put Duke and put this one and put that one, you leave them bunch of idiots now. Them is just PNM, you know. And they're so shame as to what is happening now that they're trying to see if they could find a scapegoat. That is all them into nothing else. Nothing else. As I hear a man tell me who you go put and move Rowley and put two, I just say move Rowley and put nobody. You keep Rowley? You understand? As you started telling me move Rowley and put who? Boy, it's just some words doesn't come in my mouth because when you tell them who to put, they vex you for life, yes? With that kind of dotation, that can't come around me the one that said I hogwash talking. You know? You understand? One man tell me, boy, I go vote you and see and come now step down. I said, good, well, who to put? Anybody except Kamala. I said, right, cool. Same. Who will have in mind? I said, what about your father? You feel he might be a good man? Yeah, and I done the because what nonsense you're telling me? What are you telling me? You have all the comments to make, but you have that is just like the PNM. Never have a solution to the problem, you know. They could blame this one and blame that one and tell you what we could do, what come in and we sending this, but they never have a solution for the problem. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, Brother Victor, yeah, no, I listen to you and everything and wherever, but something really now we ask my boy. You see what it went on today? I don't know if certain people really notice what it went on today with a big protest and march and all this kind of thing in town. That's more than as a exhale for people built up frustration. That gets nothing done. You know what I mean? Brother Victor, it didn't have parliament going on today. Brother Victor?
Yeah.
It had parliament going on today. Why the man didn't pass by the parliament? Why if they didn't rock down the Red House with them chanting them?
Games, brother. Games.
Forward by Victor, I see Michael and he set and them fellas dancing with Mike and all this kind of joking. Watch me. You're doing nothing more than frustrating people because you get nothing done. You talking about going back around a round table with some guy. You bring all the people and them for nothing today.
I call her like that, dollar done. Watch it, and Jeffrey, same thing people say, you know. But it's games, and people keep falling for games in this country. I will never walk behind Anisette and Roger and Lambert and Judy Charles and one of them. Never. You I just said that? Never. No way. Since after that Petrotrin issue, I will never walk no way behind them fellas. Them can't lead me no way. No way, Jeffrey. Them can't even lead me to drink some water.
You're not on that.
But because I know failure when I see it. I know failure when I see it. And no PNM when I see it too. All we go on day to day, that is just gimmickry. That is just gimmickry. That is all that went on day today. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon. I just want to be very brief for the time running. This country, if we had sent a football team away, and the whole captain taking drugs, and the whole next player running down woman, and they didn't show up for the game, the whole of Trinidad would have said the country. They're bringing shame on Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
Right? Today, we have this thing with each other. And what is going on which government in the world will refer to themselves as a criminal organization called Cosa Nostra? You are a criminal element. And this is, and people just can't, and the thing about the churches there, that says it all. The churches in any country all over the world has been the last to participate in something. Revolutions came in the past and up to today. And revolution, and I realize that we come like Sodom and Gomorrah. There is no way out. And the last thing that you said about a solution, I can't say it on the air.
Yeah.
Because I consider myself stateless. That's how I am so embarrassed at this situation. Yeah. I am now stateless. Right? And I'm just, and the only solution I could see is on a book called Way of the Jackal.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Good. But on a grander scale.
Yeah.
Because nobody, it has gone too far. The country is morally bankrupt. We're supposed to have a protest for morality now. That is how bad it is.
Wow.
You know? You have to bring back, sanitize the thing where people would start to have faith in the system again.
Yeah.
We don't have nothing working right. And the place corrupt to the core. Never in the 5 or the 60s, and I could never say this is what I could ever say ever happened in the past. So, bless all and have a good night. Good job, Mr. Bunso.
Thank you, caller. Caller, if I had money, today I would have make Rowley laugh if I had money. Because you see, while the union go on to Mamagai this protest, I would have mobilized 4,000 people to protest against the union. You know what I tell you, Jeffrey? I would have carried people to protest against them. Because the union is responsible for what happening in this country too. They are responsible too. Don't feel it's just Rowley, you know. Them, apart from them putting Rowley there in 2015, them went back and support Rowley in 2020. They waiting for refinery still. It's them, nobody else. So them could walk up and down tongue. Let me tell you something, they won't see my legs. They could walk till the corn roast on the toe. They wouldn't see Victor Roberts. I will follow Anisette and Roger and Lambert and Judy Charles and then me. Boy, it's just shame them people in this union in have. That's why they walking behind Roger and them. You hear what I telling you? It's just shame they have. Right now, it's a straw them holding on to. A straw. Roger and Anisette. Lambert and Judy Charles. Boy, union members, if all they know good for you, or they get all the organization to call an election and get rid of those idiots who leading all you in the ditch, because that's what the union do. The union stand up there and let me tell you something. All them Petrotrin workers, all of them gone with the same set of union. Gone, bye-bye, no more. Welcome, caller.
Okay, I wouldn't take too long, Everything you said about the union, you know, I really don't know much about the union. All we know, the public, is what we read in the media. And all we could hear, but from listening to Roger and reading about him, you know, he's wishy-washy. And he comes across as very underhanded. He knows how to speak. This guy's a politician. I bet you the union played a role in a lot of the hires of those government workers. If you look at government workers, they had to start with the Kangaloo family. You've got an entire family working for government. You got brother, sister, cousin, everybody working in high-level jobs making lots of money. And you look at government workers, and a lot of them would live in one household bringing money into that one family.
Thank you, caller, but we had a close. Trinidad and Tobago, we thank you for those of you who participated tonight. Remember to join Douglar Politics tomorrow at 7:30, and of course, Facts Not Fiction, Sunday at 7:30. Yours truly will be there, and the Honorable Senator Arnold Roberts tomorrow at 7:30. Stay tuned for Douglar Politics. God bless you out.
Oh, 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 ah, 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 hey, 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 ah, 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 oh, 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 ah, 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 hey, 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 ah, ah, ah. My ancestors came from India in 1838. They came to British Guyana with Jahajis or shipmates. They crossed the Calamari on the Hesperus with B. Bahut Aja and the Aji, Bahut Nana and Nani. Yes, I'm an Indo-Caribbean man from an Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean tradition, the culture and education. I'm an Indo-Caribbean man from an Indo-Caribbean land. I love my Indo-Caribbean